Hello and welcome everyone, Silas here, and this is the second video in the series of PSTV remote play, and in this one I'm going to show you the remote play using purely Wi-Fi. Not directly connected, but with a router in between. In this case I'm connected to my home Wi-Fi with a good strong signal from the PlayStation TV, and also the PlayStation 4 is connecting to the same router via Wi-Fi with a good strong signal. Both are 90% or above connection strength. And with that out of the way, I'll jump over to remote play. Oops, there we go. And in these settings, I'm also going to do this video on the video quality high, which is the best of the two settings. If you have a good strong signal, high will work, and I highly recommend that you use it. It will give you the best picture for your experience when using the remote play. If for some reason you do, notice any sort of, big input lag where it's very distracting and it's, not minimal and it's causing a problem, then with your particular game, drop it down to normal, make note of that game, maybe look at your Wi-Fi settings and see if there's any way you can improve it, make the signal stronger or whatever. Maybe see if you can just wire the PlayStation 4 into the router or what have you, so that way you can get a better connection. But as long as your both connection strengths are good and strong, you should be able to run that high setting without a problem. So let's go ahead and get connected, and I'll go through a couple quick games, and you can see for yourself that it looks good and works well. I'm going to try to make this video a touch shorter than the last one. There we go. And as you can tell, if you watched my previous video, this already looks quite a bit sharper. Oh, I already have Destiny running, so I'll just go ahead and just jump right into that real quick. Good game. I'm on Venus. In my case, I'm not noticing any sort of lag. Again, if you have any lagging when running this high setting, switch it back down to normal and it'll take care of that for you. It won't look as good, but you'll be able to play your game. So just keep that in mind. But when running in this high setting, it looks a lot closer to what the actual PlayStation 4 graphics look like. Not quite perfect, you'll still notice a little bit of blocking if you're really looking for, again, depending on how anal you are about video quality, you may notice it. But again, if you're that anal about it, then just don't use remote play in the first place. To be quite honest with you, if you want that perfect, just like PS4 experience, get another PS4. But if you can handle that, and deal with a little bit of, if it doesn't look that bad. But to me, this is perfectly acceptable for a remote play experience on this high setting. This is very good. Actually, it kind of looks better than what it does on my Vita, but the Vita's it just depends on the game and what your connection is. A lot of times I use that at work, and my Wi-Fi there isn't so good, so that may be part of the reason why my experience with that has been not as good, although I still do like to use it quite frequently. And it's also going to be very game dependent. I'm showing Destiny just because I know that this is also using the same connection. You connect to the servers, it's 100% online multiplayer. You're using that connection for everything. So if there's going to be any lagging on this setting with the Wi-Fi, this would be the way for me to find out if it was going to do that. Let me just ride around real quick, fast motion and whatnot. Kind of see if there's any sort of graphical glitching happening or things of that nature. But as you can tell, it actually runs very well, quite smooth. My controls, I'm not noticing any massive lag or delay or anything of that nature. It all runs really well. And again, this is not with the direct connection, which in the last video that I showed, I explicitly said don't use the high setting on that, just because for whatever reason, when you're using a router, you seem to get a better connection. I'm not sure why you would think the direct connection would work well, but for whatever reason, I ended up with a lot of lag when I used the direct connection. So just with the high setting, not with normal. So just keep that in mind whenever you're trying to figure out your setup and how you want to run this. You can use the high setting with the Wi-Fi. Again, if you have a problem with whatever game you're playing, just drop that sucker down to normal. Make note of it. Maybe there's something else going on with your router settings. I have everything set up. It's actually pretty easy. It's on your local network, so you really shouldn't have to do any firewall search or anything. I'm going to go ahead and jump out of this real quick, though. I'm just going to jump over to... No, I don't want to do that. So let's try something simple. Let's do Dust over here. It's just another game. Just to show you what that would look like. I showed you Destiny about now something single player. This should be, you know, quite fun. No delays or anything like that. So if you were fearing after my last video that, oh my god, if I use any kind of Wi-Fi, you know, unless I wire it, I can't use that high setting. Fear not, you can use the high video setting and have the better visual experience and use remote play. Just make sure that your connection, your signal is good and strong. And as long as, you know, both your PlayStation TV and your PlayStation 4 have a good, strong signal, this shouldn't be a problem for you. So just tell me about additional save slots, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. So Dust, which is already a pretty good looking game. This in particular, you know, not playing online or anything, so this already looks, you really don't notice much of a difference, of course. You know, it's all cartoony and whatnot, so a lot less going on than, than what Destiny has. So, again, you know, your experience may be a little bit different depending on the playing, but again, with that Wi-Fi setting, you can use that high video quality. I highly recommend it. It makes remote play so much better if you can use that setting, and that's why with that direct to connect Wi-Fi to the PlayStation 4, I say don't use it, because it just does not work that well. But when you have the router in the mix, for some reason it works really well. Keeps that signal nice and they run smooth. Maybe that's just something that Sony needs to update some firmware or something with the remote play. I'm not sure the reasoning behind it. I'm not a network engineer for Sony, so I couldn't tell you why that is, why it works like that. But this is definitely, if you're gonna go Wi-Fi, you know, this will work again. Just make sure that signal is good and strong, and you will have a good experience. I'm not doing anything special here, but there we go. The attack, but everything is playing, you know, nice and smooth. I'm not having any sort of control delays or any of that nature. I'm just ripping shit, getting butt here, without a problem, just like as if I was playing on the PlayStation 4 itself. And again, as another reminder, as I said in my last video, if you've got the PlayStation 4, get an extra controller, or just one for the living room since your wife's watching the TV with your kids or whatever, and you know, pair up that DualShock 4 with your PlayStation TV, and you'll be pretty close to having that one-to-one experience without having to spend $400 on another PS4. So this is a good way to do that, and still be able to play your games and whatnot, you know, losing a lot of quality. So here we go. Alright. Now some games I haven't run into any yet, but some games you may run into, as I said before, some sort of delay or something. You can drop that down to normal, make note of that game, and try to get at a later point on the high settings if you still have that problem. Check your signal strength. Both my PlayStation TV and my PlayStation 4 have 90% signal strength or better to my Wi-Fi router. So that does really help when you have that good, strong signal. It makes everything nice and smooth for you, so you can have that good experience. Now I'm sure it'll probably work just as well if you're seeing a little bit less. The higher strength you can have it, the better off you are. I think that's going to conclude this video for today. I've taken up enough of your time with this one. Again, if this helped you at all, like it, share it, subscribe to our channel down below. Leave some comments if there's something else with PlayStation TV that you'd like to see me make a video of, something, you know, with settings or whatever that maybe you'd like some more information on, and I'll be glad to put that on my list of videos that I'm going to make. Silas out.
Come on, let's